if you're going to be buying an Intel 7th generation processor, the Kaby Lake line, and you have no idea what's going on, I'm going to explain it to you. But first, my name is Steve Smith. This is TQA Weekly. Processor and mainboard selections can be difficult for some people, and making that decision easier for people is what I'm here to do today. I'm going to be talking about the i3, i5, and i7 line of the 7th generation Kaby Lake Intel processors, as well as the Z270, H270, and of course B250 lines. So let's get into it. An i3 processor is a native dual-core processor that has hyperthreading but no turbo boost. Hyperthreading means that it has like 2 processors per core of the processor. Oversimplified, but basically Windows thinks it's a quad core. And it has a higher clock speed than an i5, but it doesn't have turbo boost. Unfortunately, even with a higher clock speed, it has a lower cache on the processor, and therefore it is only really good for office work, multimedia consumption, and of course some really light gaming. If you are a gamer, someone who does video editing and some other higher end tasks, you basically want an i5. Whether it comes in the locked or unlocked variant is up to you, but it has no hyperthreading, which means it is a quad-core processor and that's all you're getting, but does have turbo boost, and despite having a lower clock speed than an i3, it is faster. It is great for gaming. You don't have to worry about the games being supported on it. It will be supported. And of course, you can do pretty much anything you want on it. And remember, it comes in locked and unlocked SKUs, meaning that if you want it to be faster, you can. If you want to make sure your investment lasts longer, of course, you can. It's all up to you. But if you are one of those that has higher end needs, we're talking about streaming, more FPS, video editing with a lot of assets, and you also want to be doing 3D rendering and some other kinds of stuff like that, you'll be better off with an i7 processor, a native quad core with hyperthreading, meaning it looks like an 8 core, and turbo boost, faster clock speed, more cache, and of course, guess what? Comes in locked and unlocked variants, meaning it's also potentially overclockable. And this is the higher end of the consumer lines. And of course, that's not where this ends, because that doesn't help anybody if I don't explain to you which motherboards they go with. Because we have i3, i5 unlocked and locked, and i7 unlocked and locked processors. Well, the i5 and i7 unlocked SKUs benefit from being put on a Z270 motherboard, one that allows for more refined control of overclocking, and of course allows for a lot of power delivery to be more stable because it has everything it needs, and you can go into the BIOS or use software in order to actually overclock it properly, whether you do it right away or wait later on to extend the life of your motherboard. And of course has support for lots of features, including SLI. Now, if you're going to be going for the unlocked and overclocking SKUs of mainboard and processor, get a better power supply and a better cooler for your processors, because there will be more power requirements and a higher heat output from the processor. So don't prematurely kill everything by accident. Now, if you're going to be going with the locked processors, whether it be the i3, i5, or i7 lines, it is probably a good idea to stipulate that if you're going to be using an i5 or an i7, you're better off with a H270 motherboard. But if you're really into the budget builds, you can use an i3 or an i5 on a B250 motherboard instead. Now, if you're going to be spending the money for an i7 and stick it on a B250, I kind of consider that a potential waste. However, if you really wanted to game and you wanted to have a really nice experience, may I suggest an i5 on an H270 board instead of blowing it all on an i7 and going for a less expensive B250 board, because you will actually benefit a lot more and actually save more money in that aspect as well. Also, consider the way you are building your build. You may need a better, bigger power supply or a better, bigger cooler for your processor depending on your needs. And I hope this clears up everything for you. So like this episode if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't, share with those that you think benefit from this, and don't forget to subscribe. And if you have any questions, comments, suggestions for topics, email me at ask@tqaweekly.com. Go to my website, tqaweekly.com. And if you want to make this show better, go to patreon.com/tqaweekly and become a patron today. Patrons benefit by getting these episodes 2 days in advance of everyone else. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.